Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. I don't know what it's called, I will think of something by the time I publish it, but it has the ribbon that goes around to keep it closed and it opens up with like triangle doors. I first saw a card like this quite some time ago, and the person who'd made it, what she had done was she had scored down here and then folded that triangle back up on itself on both sides, which is what I tried to do, which was my first attempt, this one here. But I found that there was just too much of a stress on the folds at the points there. And if you have a look particularly at this, get out of the way, this triangle down here, I've actually glued that bit down because it came up. I think you'll be able to see what I mean. Let's try that. You can see the tear there, and that's what I folded back up again, put some Tombow underneath it. But I wasn't happy about showing you how to make a card and saying to you, you know, if this happens to you, you need to fix it and do this, blah blah. I'd much rather find a way of making the card so that it doesn't happen. And what I do with my triangles is I cut them off. So, I mean, it was a beautiful card that I saw, really liked it. But when I tried it, that happened. So the first one that I did when I cut the sides, as you know, notice that retired products there, which is what I tend to do when I'm practicing. Again, this was retired. What I did was the triangles that I'd cut off, I adhered back on to here. I made them a bit smaller, but you probably see the different layers that I've got on there. But that finished up making it too bulky. So then I went on to the first one with current products, and this worked out really nicely, except I'd cut my sizing wrong here. And this one worked out beautifully, except I put the glue on the wrong side. I wanted to use that DSP, but I put the glue on the side I wanted. So hopefully the card that I make on the video is going to be perfectly okay. With the designer series paper that I'm going to be using, I haven't decided which side I'm using yet, so I'm in with a good chance of getting this right. So the cardstock you're going to be needing, this is Flirty Flamingo, and it measures 12 inches by 4 inches, which is 30 by 10 centimetres. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches, which is 9.4 by 9.4 centimetres. A piece of designer series paper. This is from All My Love, and I'm not sure whether I want that, because I do like the plainer sides, or that. I think that's really pretty, so I'm torn at the moment. So that should measure 3 1/2 inches by 3 1/2 inches, which is 8.8 by 8.8 centimetres. And then you need a piece of Flirty Flamingo, which measures 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, which is 7 by 7 centimetres. And then a piece of Whisper White, which measures 3 inches by 3 inches, which is 7.5 by 7.5 centimetres. These last 2 pieces are approximate. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my long piece, I'm going to take my designer series paper, and I'm going to take one of these 2 pieces of Whisper White that are the same size. Okay, so I'm going to get these scored and cut and everything. So I will use my scoreboard first. If you want to use your trimmer for your scoring, if that's what you feel more comfortable with, you go for that. And you put your cardstock in, so you score horizontally, and if your inches, you score at 4 inches and 8 inches. if your centimetres, score at 10 and 20 centimetres. So I got 4 inches and 8 inches. So that's the only scoring that you need to do. Now I'm going to bring up my trimmer to do my cutting. Right, so you may have noticed that on my cards that one's gone that way and that one's gone that way. Now that's the one that I was aiming for, because when it stands up on the table like that, it's got the sentiment on that part, so the heaviest bit of this card is resting on the ground. Okay, so that's what I'm aiming at now. So if I keep that in front of me, so I need to cut from there to there. Right, okay, there to there. So what you need to do is, alright, you can see both bits. Where you've got the, what's that, that's a mountain score line, you've got the bump, so you want to come south of the bump on the first bit of clear, and that's where you want to cut to. Okay, so go from where it's your bump finishes and your clear starts, that's got to be level with that channel, and then down this end the point has got to be in the channel. Okay, so let's put that down so I can concentrate on this. Right, that should be good. Come back down here. Right. Right, that didn't move. Right, there we go. That is almost spot on. It's got a little bit of fluffy there, but that's okay. Now I'm going to cut this bit, and now I need to cut from there to there, because it's got to be the same as here. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now my point here has got to go into the cutting channel, and on this side where I've got the bump, the mountain fold, I've got to go north of that now. So that bit there has got to go into the channel. Right, put the top one up. Am I still in? No, it's come down a bit. That's better. Okay, so I've got the edge of my mountain and my clear bit up here north, right into the channel, and the point there. Come back and check this one because I moved it. Yep. Keep checking both ends. Right, I'm happy with that without letting it move. There we go. Now, we don't want to get rid of our trimmer yet, but let's fold these over. Oh, I've got a pencil mark there. Right, so there's that one. Where's my bone folder? Just make sure you line up really nicely across there. And if you've got your fluffy bit there, the bumpy bit, and like me you don't like it, just smooth it out with your bone folder. That's much better. Okay, then fold this one over nice and straight. Is that fluffy? A little bit, not much, but we'll flatten it anyway. and they almost meet. That's obviously because I haven't made right up to the edge there, but that'll be fine. It's only a tad close to each other. Right, so that's that one. Let's bring these two pieces in. Yes, these two. And we're going to slice both of these in half. So you just want point into the cutting channel, point into the cutting channel, and then slice. Check one end, then check the next, then come back again and check the second one. Every time you move it, there's a very strong possibility that you move in the other end. Now that is rocking up there, so that's better. Sometimes I find that the blade will scrunch up the cardstock as if you go onto the point and cut it up. So it's best to get your blade starting in the middle. I'll show you what I mean. I did it just now, but I didn't actually explain it. Okay, so that's in the cutting channel, that's in the cutting channel. So instead of just going straight up to that and making it ruck up, take your blade so that it's already in there. Be ready to hold this and then come back out, and then it'll be easier to get back up there. Okay, and therefore it doesn't scrunch it up there. So that I think what I will do next will be the stamping and the colouring. But what I can do, I think, is give myself an idea of what this is going to look like. So these are my choices. I have that, or I have, oh dear, it's such a shame I've done that. Never mind. Well, there's that. And it's all a question of what the thing looks like. So no, I'm still undecided. Right, I'm stamping on that, and I'm stamping on that. That's just die cutting. So the stamp that I'm using is called Beauty Abounds. Okay, so what I'm using is Our Friendship Isn't One Big Thing. That's on the outside, and on the inside it's 1,000,000 Little Things. And I'm using that butterfly and that one, and I'm also using that like Bokeh stamp. So let's do our black stamping first. Now on this one it's the 1,000,000 Little Things, right? So let me see how far I can come down with this. Right. Excuse my head. That's fine. Now with this big butterfly, the ones that's sideways, I have him up here, and the little one, I'll have one flying that way, and I will have one flying that way. And for this one, this is going to be my circle stamp. So I'm going to take the big sentiment, which is Our Friendship Isn't One Big Thing. And you will will see that on the stamp here what I've done is I've got a butterfly underneath, and the way that I judge that is I take my die, this is the No. 3 stitched shape dies, I lay it on top where I'm going to be cutting, and I know the space that I have for my little butterfly, so I leave the ring there, the die there. In fact, let me bring it down. And then just pop it in the space there. Okay, so that's nice and easy. That's all the stamping that I need. So next I am going to be doing the circles, and I'm using Flirty Flamingo ink. Let's move that out of the way a minute. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to ink, stamp off, and then come on to here. So it's stamp off, stamp, stamp off, stamp, stamp off, stamp off, let's turn the stamp around a bit. There we go. I think this looks quite like bubbles actually. Oh, this is one that's being cut as a circle, so I don't have to worry about coming so low. This is the one that's got to be done all over. Right, let's try again. Stamp off. I have to concentrate so much on when I'm doing something like this because I nearly always forget to stamp off. There is a set of dies that goes with the Beauty Abounds, and it does include dies to die cut these two butterflies out. I haven't used them on my card, but it would look nice to have the butterflies, or at least the butterfly on the front of the card on dimensionals. There we go, I think that's okay. So is that all I think that's all the stamping that I need to do. So what I need now is to do die cutting, and that's these two. And I think that's it, isn't it? Then we can put everything together. So the dies that I'm using, this is number 3 of the stitched shape circles, and the scallop is from the layering circles, and this is number 6. So let me bring my big shot up. The only one that's a little bit of an effort is this, just to make sure that it's lined up nicely. I'm really liking this stamp. I'm going to call it Bubbles. It looks far more like Bubbles to me. Right, so there's that one. And that one. Put that with those. The other thing I haven't decided for this as well is I haven't decided on the ribbon. The only ribbon that I have that's in Flirty Flamingo is a very, very thin ribbon, probably 1/8 of an inch. But I wanted something a bit thicker than that, so I've brought over with me some, what is it, Sweet Lovely lipstick, and I've brought some white with me as well. Right, so before I start doing all of this, let me see if I can decide about which pattern I want here. Okay, so it's going to be looking like that, or like that. It's going to have that and that on top. In fact, should we do both these first? It's going to be like that. Or it's going to be, oh, I think I know the answer. I think it's going to be the flowery design. I wonder if you're agreeing with me or not. Yes, I'm definitely going for the flowers. I hope you like it too. So let's do this bit in the centre first. I'm just using Tombow for all my adhering today. In fact, I think I did that last time, didn't I? I'm trying to think what my last video was. Oh, it was the cars. There we go, that looks nice. Now I'm going to turn these over. Just make sure that I keep my card up the right way. Do these bits first. Let's use my tweezers so I don't get my hands all sticky. And something I've found as well while I'm adhering all my layers on, I find it if I've got my right angle down the bottom here, but this is the dodgy thing, because if I've got a pattern that's right way or wrong way and I twist round like this, I'm going to forget what my design, whether the bit on the inside is up the right way or upside down. So I'm going to have to be very careful of that. So let's put that back up the right way again. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put an arrow on there. So that reminds me I've got to keep it up like that. Right, so we can put these on here now. There we go. So what did I do with my other pieces? Oh. Right. Okay. I think that looks good. Right, now I need some help with the ribbon. I'll show you what I brought over. In fact, lovely lipstick isn't going to work. Although that is lovely lipstick there, there's just not enough on there. It's okay, not bad. Right, what else have I got here? I bought some very, very pale pink here, which would work. I think this is the retired one. I think this is Pink Pirouette. It is. Or the other that I bought was a plain white one. Well, obviously that would work. In fact, I'm not sure it does because it just disappears, doesn't it? And the other one was this one. So, what do you think? Could always do that and that, couldn't we? But it's still very dark. No. Oops. I think I'm going to go for the pale pink one. Right, make sure I'm up the right way. So what I'm going to do is I cut a piece that's about 16 inches long, which just happens to be the length of my grid paper here, which is nice and convenient. Yep, that's right, I've done that right. I do it so that my two ends meet up on this side. Making sure they stay flat. I must remember to take that arrow off as well. Okay, so that's going to be good. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this bit here, lift this one up, and then I'm going to put some, you could use Tombow on this bit, but I'm using Tombow for just to get it started, to holding it down. And just make sure I get this straight. I'm using my grid paper. There we go. Now it doesn't matter about the glue coming through there because I'm going to put glue on this one as well. Right, so what I do to position this, I put this in the centre, so it's got the same sort of gap all the way round, and then I use my pencil again and I mark where there's a dip in the scallop nearest the white. So it's about there. Okay, so I've got a pencil line there, and nearest the white here has got to be that one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is where I've got that pencil mark, I'm going to put my fingernail into that scallop, turn it over and draw a pencil mark. So I know that my glue has got to come this side of that pencil mark. Now again, here, my pencil mark, put my finger in the scallop, turn it over, draw a pencil line, and I know that all my glue has got to be down here. Now where I've put that pencil mark, it's not going to show once I've put my sentiment onto my card. Now I'm not going to take the pencil marks off until I've put my circle in place. And that is so that I can line up my pencil marks with my white bits again. Okay. Then make sure you haven't got any glue coming through on this side. Last thing you want is to find that you can't open your card. Okay, so once that's all adhered down, I don't worry about putting this down, I leave it loose. You could always put tearing tape underneath it, or snail I suppose you could use. Yep, you could use snail. Right, so I'm going to remove some of my pencil marks. I'll take that one off. Oh, I haven't coloured my butterflies yet, have I? I mean, you could leave your butterflies if you like. But I'm going to show you how I colour mine. Right, I'm not going to die cut them. If I do die cut them, it'll be after the video, and you'll be able to see if you look on my blog the same day that this video gets published. Right, okay, so I'm using my Flirty Flamingo pen, and I colour all the bits outside, so there's only one white bit left in the middle, and I do this on all the 4 butterflies. Then once I've done that, I go back and colour those in again, and it makes it come up much darker. So then once I've finished doing all these nice and dark, I can just go over the centre bits very lightly, and they will be much lighter than the outside bits. Oh, that's a dark bit there. Okay, so can you see how I've got light and dark there? Nothing fussy, very easy. Right, let's just put that flat. Right, so again with this one, all the outsides. As I say, if you don't want to do this, you could leave it. Obviously there are some areas where the colour from the bubbles is coming through anyway. If you wanted to leave them, what you could do is stamp your butterflies, do your bubbles first, and then stamp your butterflies where you can see that they are actually going to get the pink in the wings. I'm just going to do those little bits at the back. Do this bit darker. And then just very lightly over the centre. Then this one just like I did on the outside. And then this one as well. I'll bring it up to show you once I finish doing these. So it's not very time consuming, is it? Okay, so it's all dark, and then just the light bits. Go over these to make them dark. And then just a little bit to make them. There we go. Works beautifully. Okay. So yeah, first one that I've done correctly, and I am really very pleased with this. So let me just get this tied. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Okay, let's just trim this bit off. It's a bit on the long side. And that one. Oops. Let's try that one again. Really made a mess of that, didn't I? That's better. So there we go. I might redo that actually, because that's... No, I won't. No, it's quite a nice bow. It's just that that's a bit on the long side. There we go, that's better. So that's today's project. Nice and easy, without putting any pressure on these, of this bit down here and that bit there. Here's the other one. If I'll leave that one open for you. So, I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I hope you give it a try. If you have any comments or you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. Also in the box I will put all the measurements and the products that I've used. There'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop, so if you want to buy any of the products here, you can get them from there, except for this pink ribbon. That was that is a retired one. But everything else is current. If you've enjoyed my video and you would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel on the button that's down there in the right hand corner, and then there'll be a bell for you to click as well, and that'll make sure that you get the email notifications each time I upload a new video. So many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.